Hello beautifuls, Louise here with your new moon light language transmission and guidance for the upcoming new moon in Cancer, which is on 2nd of July, and also brings with it a solar eclipse, so just the beginning of eclipse season. And what does that mean? Well, eclipse season is always a beautiful opportunity for breakthroughs and transformation, that moment of, we move into darkness and then back out into the light, and it's kind of like a reset. And we just had the solstice as well, so again there's very much our awareness of this, the darkness and the light, and the movement of that, the movement out of one into the other. And with the new moon in Cancer, so new moon is always about that moving into a new chapter, a new cycle. And the moon is comfortable in Cancer. Cancer is that beautiful, watery, emotional connection, also very much around mother and home. So there's an opportunity and invitation here for us to really meet and mother ourselves as we feel emotions, as we feel vulnerable. And I know I've been saying this for a couple of months now, at least, but really we are all releasing a lot of density from our cells, a lot of density from our memories, from a lot of old stories and programming, and that arises as emotion. And this is where we have the invitation to presence ourselves with love and compassion, and to be those loving mothers to the parts of ourselves that are having those big feelings. So I love, as I've done before and I've shared before, to really meet those feelings with compassion for myself, using my voice to speak words of compassion out loud, using the compassion key. I'm so sorry you feel vulnerable. I'm so sorry you feel sad. I'm so sorry you feel ashamed. Whatever the emotion is, we're just naming that, and in the process of naming it, really healing and dissolving that. And one of the practices I've been really guided to do over the past week has been to spend 15 minutes every day, first thing in the morning usually, just sitting with my heart open and just being present with any feelings that are arising. So also being present with the part of myself that may judge or feel that it's wrong for me to have those feelings. So that's a practice that I invite you to perhaps share and take part in over this coming couple of weeks with this new moon, because you're going to be really feeling that emotional vulnerability. And if you can, it's really going to be inviting you to hold that loving space, that compassionate space open for yourself and for those emotions that as they arise, that's where they get to be cleared. It's the pushing down, the shoving them down, the rejecting them, the not wanting to look, which actually keeps them present in our field, and actually that's going to be stopping you from fully expressing your light and the truth of who you are, and expressing that freedom and that joy to be your authentic self, because that's what this is all about. This is about really you expressing the truth of yourself in your life, and feeling that freedom and that innocence to just be yourself, not worried about what other people think, and not holding yourself back and dimming your light because you're afraid of what others will say about you. What we're really afraid of is that they're going to withdraw their love, and when we're young, when we're children, that love and that approval is survival for us. So these are really, they're life and death fears. They may seem trivial, and you might find yourself, thinking, why am I afraid? Why do I feel this? Why do I feel that? But really acknowledging that part of you, that feeling is arising because it is a matter of life or death. It is a matter of survival for that part of you. And so not to negate or minimize or invalidate those feelings, but simply meet them as they arise, and be willing to do that, be willing to presence them, willing to feel them, and willing to let them just lift off, because you start to become aware as you do this that they really are just an energy that wants to move. I'm sure you've heard that before, emotion, energy in motion, but it is true. And you see it with young children, they just let it move through and then they're okay. It's only us where we bring the mind in and start judging the behavior or the feeling as wrong, that we don't allow it to move. So try, if you can, to get your mind out of the equation and just be willing to be in the unknown of your emotions, being curious. Okay, what am I feeling? Allowing myself to feel it, allowing myself to be with it and honor it and presence it, and just give myself compassion for that and for whatever experience, even if I don't know what that is, that has led to that emotion still sitting in my field. So it's a beautiful time to set some intentions around that, around self-care, around self-love, around self-acceptance. Also, perhaps there may be something you're wanting to create in this next new moon cycle, and now's the time to plant the seeds of that. So, what is it you're wanting to create that's going to really bring you home to yourself? That's going to be a really true reflection of you. That is a playful expression of who you are. So this is something I'm noticing in myself, coming back to music projects, coming back to writing projects. And I was doing a meditation with Isis the other day, and she said, polish your jewels, polish your own jewels. So this is about nourishing and taking care of your own creative children, your own creations, and allowing yourself to do that, giving yourself the freedom to actually go, yeah, this is my heart's desire. This is what I want for myself. Let me nurture that. Let me give that some love. Yeah. And I've seen this with clients too. This, they're letting go of the conditioning and the roles that they've stepped into in their families in order to keep the peace, in order to appease everyone, in order to keep everyone happy. And now everyone's kind of waking up from that and go, actually, you know what? I'm a bit of a wild child. This is what I want. Or, actually, it's not my job to keep everyone else happy. This is what makes me happy. And actually, if I don't do this, I'm the only one that's really going to miss out. And no one else can do it for me. So giving yourself that permission to really commit to yourself, to create that space for yourself, that love for yourself. So maybe take a moment to ask yourself what that might be for you in the next couple of weeks, and indeed in the whole of July as we move into the eclipses. Whatever's not really aligned with you, there's a good chance that's going to get pulled away, and you're going to get a little bit of a shove into what is in alignment. And of course, that's a loving shove from your higher self and from the universe to get you really in alignment and get you on your path, which only you can tread. So I'm feeling that I want to call for a transmission for us today to support us to just be able to be vulnerable and strong at the same time, so that we have that solidity, like the earth is always beneath us, and and she withstands storms and rain and hail and ice ages and volcanoes, and she's willing to just be present with all of that turbulence. So let's really call for that for ourselves, that willingness to be vulnerable, and at the same time really acknowledge that we have that strength within us to meet whatever it is that arises in us and wants to move. So as always with the light language, just opening your heart to receive the frequencies and trusting that your higher self is guiding them in the highest way for you, so you can release what no longer serves you and be activated into the next level of your empowerment and your authentic self-expression. So let's take a moment to just breathe into our hearts and feeling your body and feeling the earth beneath you and feeling the universe around you and your own higher self, your divine presence, feeling all of the love that is there for you from the star nations, the angels, the archangels, the elementals, and all of your teams of light, all of the loving beings that support you, perhaps the ancestors, spirits of the land where you are. And really opening your heart to receive that support now, knowing you're worthy of that support, and that you simply have to say yes to that and trust it and surrender to that. And surrender to your own beautiful heart, which has the power to heal anything, any of your experiences. And from that place, let's receive the light language today. nako yita. Yike monjati severono manga ki jita awa. Oronongo mandia chiara na soto ci are chiamaro o. Angi amaro kakenji aronongo ya yaka. Kasero nonje kura baaya kitito sumunja ariki aroto. Awa kamandi waya yako nonji garimanongo iki. Garea dano sodi barona cheki sadoro rodono mungu aji etiri di aranangu ati. Arene mago adaya kechiro sokungu eji manari. Radari mango aje kika mosuku ji ira marono oko yiri. Awaka ji inimiguro oko ji iki ga ogu mangiarane. And taking a deep breath and releasing. So I was really feeling the earth and the indigenous spirits really holding us there, and that invitation to just soften and sink down into the earth, where you can feel that solidity and that space of being really held as whatever needs to move, on the surface needs to shift, that the weather moving, imagining that you're just held in that really safe, deep space, and that, that movement and that clearing and that release can all happen without you being knocked off balance. So really feeling that strength and that solidity and that embrace of the earth. And, this is what's happening as well on the planet. The planet is shifting and healing and ascending and releasing the density that's been there, trapped there from all of these experiences that all of us have had on the earth. And trusting that as you do your work to clear yourself, you really are being service to the earth and to the collective as you do that. So I wish you a beautiful new moon, and I will see you in a couple of weeks for full moon, when I'm not sure yet whether we'll have a global gathering, so it is going to be in the holidays and I may be away, I'm not sure. Anyway, so stay tuned for that. Either way, I'll be doing a full moon video regardless. So have a beautiful week. You can check me out at soulsignature.com.au or find me on Facebook, and I really look forward to connecting with you one way or another. Much love, many blessings. Namaste.